Hello!
Hiya.
Then welcome back or welcome to Books and Crannies.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Danielle.
And it's nice to see ya.
It sure is.
It's freaking time for our personal read check-in
Hell
this
yeah,
week, y'all.
dudes. What'd you read this week, Sarah?
Well, I read 250 pages of Whispers of Apple Blossoms by Brett Mitchell-Kent.
Yeah.
I finally finished it, y'all.
Heck, yeah, you did. Right before its release date. It comes out May 1st.
Yeah.
Would you rate it?
I gave it 4.5 freaking stars, dude.
That's real good.
That's really good.
That's a real good rating. Give me your freaking review.
Well, I really liked his writing. Writing style was good. It was really easy to read.
Yeah. And you had mentioned short chapters before, right?
Yeah.
Flying through them.
Yeah, and I feel like towards the end of the book they got shorter and shorter, which...
Not mad at.
Love that. Yeah, so I really liked his writing, and I really loved the jumping back and forth between timelines, and you start the book only jumping timelines for the main character.
Yeah.
But as the story goes on, like, a second character is added, and then
Do they have multiple timelines also?
I can't remember. I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And I love a mystery thriller horror book that catches me off guard, and the end of this book really caught me off guard. I had theories about what was going on the whole time, which I'm sure that he did that on purpose.
Yeah. As you should in a freaking mystery horror thriller.
Yeah. And man, the end, I was like, are you kidding me?
What the dang heck?
What the dang heck? Yeah, it was really good. I definitely recommend it. Y'all should go read it.
You should read it. It comes out
literally comes out May 1st.
So thank you for sending over your arc, Brett.
Yes, thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to read more from you in the future.
Yeah, I'm very excited to read it. I'm going to do my damnedest to get it done before May 1st so I can give you a rating before it comes out. So I'll try.
Yeah.
I'll do what I can.
I believe in you.
Yeah, if it reads as well as you say and easy as you says... as you says, then I'm sure I might. This weekend I don't have plans, so my plans to be reading, but I do have a baby, so
yeah, well,
you know. But anyway, that's exciting. And I know you had mentioned in previous check-ins that the sort of premise that you can kind of find, so we don't say too much before the book comes out, is like a widow who thinks the houseplant is her husband. Or her husband's talking through the houseplant?
Yeah, she thinks her dead husband is communicating with her through the houseplant.
Okay. And there's spooky things afoot surrounding that concept?
Yeah. And the houseplant, gives her gifts, and...
Okay.
She'll just find things in this, buried in the soil of the houseplant.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
I am very interested.
It's
just
really
from,
good.
That little tidbit.
It's so good.
4.5 star tells me enough.
It's so different from things I've read in the past too, which I think made me like it even more because it was such a new concept to me.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
I'm very excited to talk to you about it.
Yeah, but what did you
dang.
read this week, Danielle?
Well, I read, Sarah. Could you guess? It can't possibly be
Hanya Yanighara?
It sure is.
Oh my god.
A Little Life. I read 56 pages.
Holy smokes.
I know. It's actually I feel like that's a good amount in that book.
Yeah.
And woo! This section was getting rough. Mm-hmm. It's getting hot and heavy again. Not hot and heavy in a good way. But in a my heart kind of way. Last time we were talking about how Willem and Jude ended up together. They're in a relationship.
Yeah.
And Jude is really not enjoying the intimacy side of being in a relationship because it just brings up so much of his trauma in the past with freaking brother Luke and all of the monster dudes and whatever, the monsters is what it sounded like, and that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
But he is,
What did you say if it was a
monastery.
monster? Oh, okay.
I convinced you. He is self-harming more and more, and Willem is very aware of it because Jude now, will sleep naked with him, and Willem's the only one who really sees his body, and Willem starts checking in on all of his cuts to get a feel for how often and how many.
Yeah.
And Willem starts pestering him to stop, and walks in on him mid-sesh. One night and hurts himself and is this is what it feels like, Jude, to be on the receiving end of your self-harm.
Yeah.
And Jude's it's terrible, don't do that, of course.
Yeah. I feel like that's really the wrong way to
It's
go about
bad.
that, though.
Yeah,
like,
it's not. That's not how you do it.
No.
It's not how you do it.
Ugh.
And so Willem like pleads with him to stop, or at least try to stop, because Jude tells him like, I don't know life without it. I don't know what I would do without this. Like I need it. And so he starts filling all of his time. Like it's always at night. And so he'll like bake until all hours of the evening, or work in Richard's studio, like doing weird art things for him or whatever, just like keeping himself busy as much as possible. But with all of the intimacy pieces with Willem, there's a lot of buildup of like desire to self-harm, and he's really struggling against that. Yeah. And Willem goes out of town for a shoot, and Jude, he puts like oil on his arm and lights a match. Yeah. And it's like a circular, terribly horrible burnt skin. Yeah. And he wants to play it off as an accident. He thinks he can get away with it with Willem saying that it was an accident. But it's like real serious. It's not just like I touched a burner accidentally.
Yeah, it's not like a superficial burn.
Yeah, it's like rotting flesh.
Yeah.
And he goes to see Andy because, well, this is going to get infected. Yeah, if it isn't already. Sure. And Andy is like, this wasn't a freaking accident, Jude. Like, what happened? What happened? And Jude tells him eventually. And Andy's like, well, listen, you have to freaking tell Willem within the next week, or I'm going to tell him. And Jude, of course, does not want to.
Naturally.
And when Willem gets back, they're headed to Harold and Julia's for Thanksgiving. And Willem picks up Jude's phone, and it's Andy, and he spills the beans that there's something to be said. So he asks Jude and gets really angry. Yeah. Like, Willem's reaction in this situation is terrible. And I understand it to a point, because he's, like, shocked that Jude could do something like that to himself. Right. It sounds insane to somebody who doesn't have the same level of mental illness. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's hard to comprehend doing something like that to yourself.
Absolutely.
But his reaction is really bad and explosive. And he is just angry. Yeah. And with Jude's, like, fear of him leaving and fear of just, I think, males in general, like, it's just a bad recipe.
Yeah, for sure.
But they take some time. Willem like takes a break, and he comes back, and Jude starts spilling his guts. He tells him about Brother Luke and about how he does not like sex, has never wanted it. And Willem's like, with everyone or just like me? And he's like, doesn't matter. Yeah. And Willem's like, shit. And he knew this. The part that's sad about all of this is Willem knows so much, but he's just, like, afraid to broach any of it with Jude. Yeah. And he wants Jude to just tell him. But it's like, we all know it's not going to happen that way.
Yeah.
Until
it's
now.
It's not as easy as it sounds to just, like, open up like that, you know?
But Willem has his suspicions. And while all this is happening, Willem's also dealing dealing with having, like, come out essentially as an actor, even though he doesn't see himself as gay. Yeah. And that's a whole, like, side part.
But, I forgot about all that.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. And I feel like after this conversation, because where I stopped, it was like, okay, what happened next? Like, they were carrying on in this conversation. So I'm sure I'm going to learn more about Jude, and I just feel like we're going downhill. Yeah. I feel like we're on a decline. Yeah. For sure. And it's sad.
Yeah. Just wait.
Poor Judy.
Just wait, friend.
I can't handle it. I will. It'll be fine. It's very gripping, obviously. I tell you this every week, but I love her writing. Yeah. It's so good.
It's so good.
She's genius, and maybe we can read her other book together one day.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like that for sure. Yeah. Have someone fucking suffer next to me.
We can suffer in tandem.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then when we come together to talk about it, we might just cry to each other.
That's probably fine.
Okay, great. We can have little therapy sessions. Yeah. Sobbing on the internet. Yay! But
it wouldn't be the first time.
No. Listen to the podcast. Or watch it if you want to see the sob in real time. Have you sobbed on the internet before?
No.
What are you talking about? Is it the podcast?
Okay. Yeah. The episode where we both cried.
Yeah, you just looked really confused when I said that.
No, I was thinking about the episode that didn't get recorded.
Oh, yeah. Guys.
Because I sobbed on that episode.
You sure did. You know, we're learning still.
We are. It's fine.
We're growing. But nonetheless, we also started reading another freaking book together.
Can you believe it, guys?
Yeah, my book club.
It's like we like each other
or something weird. We don't spend every Thursday together. But
I hate reading too.
It's gross, it's nasty.
I know.
It hurts me every week when I
physically.
read. Yeah,
painful.
But my book club, some of the ladies in it decided to do 2 books this month, and so we're like, yeah, say less. You got it. And we started reading City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty.
I'm glad you can say it.
I think I said it right. I hope.
It's what the internet says.
Yeah, so. We Googled it. And this is very much outside of the sphere of fantasy that we are used to.
It is, but I am into it. I really like
it.
Yeah. It definitely sucked me in quickly.
Same. Yeah.
Which I feel like sometimes with a fantasy series, I'm like, it's hard to get into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Not with this one.
No, it's very interesting. I feel like this beginning part has been jam-packed with action, and so I'm like, man, the second half has to be crazy.
Yeah.
But it's very much like Egyptian mythology, jinn, flying carpets, genie in a bottle. Even though they're not that, they would take offense.
They would. They would for sure.
Yeah. But the main character's name is Nari, and it starts with her being like a beggar in the streets, essentially, but it's like she's smart about it. She manipulates wealthy people by healing them because she has some sort of weird gift.
Yeah.
Like a healing gift.
Yeah.
She can heal
but she doesn't actually
quickly.
Heal the people. She tricks them into thinking she's healing them.
Yeah. But she can like sense if there's an illness inside a person.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she uses that to her advantage when she's talking to these people.
I'm sure.
Because she, I think, comes off as like a oracle. You know, like come to my tent and I'll tell you your fortune kind of vibe. And so she can kind of go and give them false truths or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's how we start with Nari. And then she does essentially a freaking exorcist.
Yeah.
Or
it's
tries
like
to.
Weird seance.
Vibe. A cleansing.
Yeah.
It's like a spiritual something.
Yeah.
And normally there's like trained people to do it. And
yeah.
She just fakes her way through and gets money for it.
But during it, she like speaks this weird language that, and that's another thing that we should talk about. She also can understand all the languages ever.
And speak them.
Anytime someone talks to her in any language, she's like, yeah, I got you.
Man, that'd be nice.
I know.
Shit.
I'm saying.
We can travel and make money.
Yeah.
With that power. Yeah, she starts singing in a weird language that she knows to be like her native language.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know
I don't know that
anything
she
about.
knows it to be. I think she thinks maybe that's where it come from.
Yeah, she hasn't really heard it
Yeah.
much, except for like has memory of it maybe as a child being spoken around her. But yeah, it's some weird language that nobody else speaks.
Yeah.
And she starts singing in that freaking language to this little teenager who is like troubled. And while she's doing it, the teenager named Basima, she's like, "Who are you?" or something.
She says something
Cryptic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Nari's like, this is getting too real. And like,
you're better now.
Yeah, everything's fine. Whatever's inside you isn't gone, but it's resting.
Yeah.
Or like at bay.
Yeah.
But was it?
No.
No, freaking wasn't.
No, because then Nari goes somewhere.
She goes somewhere.
We decided we have no idea where the fuck she went.
I don't remember, but
however, on her way back, she ends up lost in a graveyard.
A big ass graveyard.
A huge graveyard.
It's like
and it's got friggin' tombs and
lots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And comes across this Basima character.
Yeah.
And
who's real off.
Yeah, she's acting cuckoo.
Suspicious.
Cuckoo crazy pants.
Cuckoo Cocoa Puffs. Yeah, she's weird vibes.
Yeah.
She's very much possessed.
Yeah.
By something.
And she's like, what did you say? Why did you say my name? Or some shit.
Or like, who did you call?
Who did you call?
Because there's like weird rumbling. There's the sky's changing.
Yeah.
And Basima's like, what the dang heck? And Ari's like, literally, I have no idea.
I don't know. I was just playing.
What's happening? And then some weird ass giant warrior comes falling from somewhere, or maybe he just
made
appears.
of fire.
I don't remember, but he's covered in fire.
Yep.
And he's like, "Who called me?"
Yeah.
He's really mad.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
Shaking in my boots.
Shaking in the boots. And Basima disappears with his arrival.
Yeah.
And then shows up again.
Yeah.
And is like summoning the dead.
Summoning dead bodies.
And this
They're
warrior,
like reaching up out of the ground, grabbing ankles.
Yeah. Did you ever go to Casa Bonita as a kid?
Yeah.
And the bridge with the hole, did people grab your ankles?
Yeah.
I grabbed people's ankles too.
Yeah.
If you're from Colorado, let us know.
We should go there now that they're
It
open
is
again.
revamped. Yeah, it's probably real shitty still, but
I'm sure.
let's do it.
I'm interested though.
We could take, I don't know, my daughter might feel weird about that. I was always afraid of the gorilla that
Same.
ran around and tickled people. What kind of nonsense is that?
Same. I was afraid of any like restaurant mascot. You remember Red Robin? They used to have the bird.
No thanks.
Absolutely
Big
not.
no.
They would
no,
like make eye contact with me and be like,
Leave
"Leave me alone."
Yeah, that is weird. Why is that a thing at restaurants?
It's creepy.
Like sports mascots are one thing, but
even that. Why?
I'm not trying to be
Let's
around
stop,
them.
guys.
Anyway,
Let's normalize not being a mascot.
if you're a mascot, quit your job. Just kidding.
Boycott mascots.
But I mean, you need to make money, so if that's your job, then
I guess.
I hope you're good at it. Just don't be creepy, okay? Don't run and tickle children like
quit
the gorilla
touching.
Gossip Anita.
Quit touching small girls.
Any freaking who.
Anyways.
The ghouls are like the people under the bridge.
Yeah.
But yeah, the dead are rising.
They are.
And they're after Nari.
They're coming for Nari. And she ends up running into a tomb.
Yeah, because
with the djinn.
Yeah, the djinn's like, you need to go find me a carpet.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, okay. As he holds them back. Because he has like a lot of weapons.
Yeah. And he seems, I mean, he just flew out of the sky.
And he's a warrior.
Powerful warrior.
He's got fire. I don't know. He does weird shit. We don't know much.
He needs a carpet.
Yeah.
So she gets him one.
Yeah. And he magics it.
Yep.
After, though, a ghoul attacks her and like rips out her throat. Or tries to. Almost.
Rips out her throat. Yeah.
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 Anyway, he mattresses the...
Mattresses?
I feel like that's where it was going.
He mattresses the carpet.
Yeah. And they
flizzy
fly away. Flying carpet.
Yeah.
And they like meet one of his buds on the way.
Who's
this
bird
guy.
Birdman.
He's a Perry, I think is what they're called.
Uh-huh.
And they find out that Nari's like this freaking descendant of a long dead Deva
yeah.
tribe.
Yeah.
Called the Naheeds. And they're healers.
Yeah.
And real magical.
Yeah.
But she's also a Shafit.
Which explains a lot, which means she's a half-blood.
Yeah. And the bird guy's like, you gotta get her to David, bro.
She's gotta go to David Bad, or she's gonna die.
Yeah, take her there.
That's the only place she'll be safe.
Get her out of here.
From the freaking Ifrit.
So they do that. Nari's kind of protesting.
Yeah, she's pissed about it. She like tries to... Oh.
Wow.
There's one part where they're camping out somewhere and she like tries to steal his knife or something and then lights the carpet on fire.
She lights the carpet on fire because she doesn't want him to follow her.
Yeah.
And goes to try to take his ring, and this is actually insane because it's a flashback. It shows her his memory.
Yeah.
Of when, because he is a slave.
Yeah.
Or was a slave. Also, we didn't talk about so much the first recording.
I know.
Like Suleiman. Mm-hmm. He is this human, or was a human, who essentially tempered down all of the Deva's powers and like made them be less scary.
Yeah.
And adapt to being with humans and stuff.
Yeah.
Or stay away from them. Either way. He did some stuff.
Sure.
And
I'll take your word for it.
I don't remember all of his story, but Suleiman is like a whole character in this.
Yeah.
He's no longer alive, but he rules most of their lives.
Yeah.
I feel like... Anyway, the ring, when she touches it, brings her to one of... His name's Dara, this warrior with fire. One of his memories. And he used to be enslaved to kings and otherwise. Mm-hmm. And it was at the war. There was a war between the Deva where the Naheed, Nara's people, were conquered.
Yeah.
And this memory is showing him, like, having helped to kill a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to, but, like, he's a genie and had to.
But yeah, he didn't have a choice.
Yeah. That was crazy. I forgot that happened.
I forgot about that too.
Yeah. But she doesn't get away with it, obviously. He wakes up like, what the?
Yeah, he wakes up and just, like, remakes the carpet. He's like, bitch, my power is fire, and you tried to burn my rug, really?
Relax. Yeah.
And there's tons of sexual tension between these two. For sure.
They want each other.
Yeah, I am excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm like, give me the spice, please.
They keep having longing glances.
They do.
But they're making their way downtown to David.
Yeah.
And passing lots of stuff, learning about each other. Mm-hmm. And we also jump to Ali, who is in David. He's the king's son.
Yeah. And he's like a rebel.
Yeah, he's like supplying the Shafit leader with money to fund all of their operation. It's like Tanzim or something is their group calling. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they're using that money to like save
rescue children.
Children who are being sold.
Yeah. It's just terrible.
Yeah, but Ali gets mixed up and all that.
He does. And his sheik.
Yeah, I don't remember his name still.
I don't either. But they're on a mission basically to save a child and a baby.
Yeah.
And get caught somehow. And so they're running. Mm-hmm. And his sheik basically tells him to keep going and like turns around and sacrifices himself so Ali can get away.
Yeah, which then leads to the sheik's execution. Yeah. In a brutal way.
Well, there's a giant beast.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called.
I don't either, but it
squishes
him.
Dang.
Doesn't it like kick him in the chest and then it like acts like it's gonna leave him and is like, just kidding.
Yeah, well I think the sheik like isn't quite dead even though I thought it was. Yeah. It's terrible. But then, I don't know how much you were past that. Did you only get to him dying?
Well, I got to where... maybe, yeah. In Ali's story, yeah, for sure.
But then didn't you say the king wants him to move back to the palace?
Yeah.
Didn't he also show him that, like, the sheik was collecting a bunch of weapons?
No.
I thought it was in that meeting.
You might have.
I think that's the
chapter I read last night at 3:00 in the morning.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, Ali starts to learn that where his money was going is like not great. There's like a lot of hoodlumry happening.
I'll have to go back and reread
Mostly
that
just
chapter.
Weapons. Yeah, but yeah. It's getting nuts.
I'm really liking it so far, though.
Too.
I feel like it's like a more in-depth fantasy.
Yeah, it's pretty complicated.
It's less romantasy, more like true fantasy. Epic, yeah.
And it is a series, so I'm excited about that.
I am too.
I think it's at least 3 books.
It's at least 3. I saw 3 for sure at
B&N. The B&N.
But
I'm really enjoying it. I think like the language piece is hard too.
Yeah.
But I want to, expand my horizons and get into that.
Same.
But it is very much, Egyptian language.
Yeah.
And it's kind of tough to parse through, but
yeah.
I don't know why, but I can't for the life of me just like scribble past fantasy names in my brain.
Yeah,
so I'm trying to learn them.
Here's my thing, is that's what I'm doing with this book because I haven't had a lot of brain power.
That's fine.
I feel like.
Yeah.
But I know it's going to cause problems for me.
Yeah, there's
later
a lot
on,
of
especially
names,
even it's already. I'm like, wait, who?
Yeah.
As you're talking, I'm like, who are you talking about? I don't know who that is.
Yeah. There's a lot of names, not only like people, but their tribes that they're separated
and
into.
The places and the places, all the things.
It's very good writing though. So
it
far.
is.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
It's
like epic fantasy, and it's kind of chewy, but it's also easy to read. If
it's
that
very
makes any
interesting,
sense.
and I think that like makes it easy.
Sucked us in.
Yeah, you get right in. But any freaking who.
Anyways,
what did you read this week?
If you finish the book, you gotta leave your rating in the comments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like this video, please.
Please, and share it with friends.
Yeah.
And we will see you next week for the check-in.
Yeah.
And happy
reading.
Oh,
goodbye.
Bye.